Yo, what's going on, people? WrestlePurists Worldwide episode 149, the one before the last one, and it's a little bit of an early start time to here today. It's good for us here over in Europe, you know. We've got 3 European... Well, Anna's actually not European, but she's in Europe, you know. So, you know, we're a little early. It makes things a lot easier for us. Anna, don't forget you're muted. There she goes. But we're here, a little early worldwide for you guys. Like I said, the one before the last one next week, 150. That's going to be a big show for us. Emotional show for us. Sentimental show for us. Joe may shed a tear for the first time on WrestlePurists platform. We're here, man. It's a big week this week as well. There's a lot of shows going on, man. Like WWE's in Australia for Crown Jewel. TNA is having one of their biggest weeks in recent years. They got Bound for Glory, and they're doing the Invasion. No, not Invasion. That's changed the name. Showdown. TNA NXT Showdown, and AEW Homecoming. Title Tuesday, this Tuesday. And of course, they've already announced a lot for Collision. So, you know, Tony's throwing a lot out there for this week, man, because he knows he needs to, I guess. But yeah, man, a big week ahead. Not sure how much of it I'm looking forward to be honest. I'm not going to lie to the people, but yeah, man, we're here. We're going to talk for a bit. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about. Probably some of this week and whatever you guys want to talk about in the live chat. So please like, subscribe, send any super chats if you're feeling generous, and we'll get into them. Any topics, anything like that, we'll get into it. But first things first. Joe Hulbert, what's going on, my brother?
I'm thinking about this allegation I've never cried on the WrestlePurists channel. I feel like it can't be true. That can't be true, I feel like. I cry a lot, don't I? I must have cried at some point once. That feels... What else would I have
What
made?
would make you cry, Joe? Like, what would make you cry?
Was you live when Jay passed? Because we were live when Jay passed, and I remember, like, yo, that was brutal, you know?
Well, maybe I don't. Well,
yeah, I can't think of an occasion
there's still time. Now that Monty and I have a paywall show, anything's possible. Just, 1 week we'll be in the middle of a SmackDown because I just burst into tears at the state of SmackDown. In front of the WrestlePurists members.
You can't take it anymore, you smash up your set.
We'll be in the middle of a conversation and Seth Rollins will come up and Monty will go, think about Seth Rollins, and I'll just go, oh no, I'll just fucking lose the plot. Yeah, but I'm happy to be here. I'm on the mend. I'm feeling better today. I got a big week ahead. I got a ton of shows coming up, and I'm back home on Worldwide. It's been a while for me since I was on Worldwide, right? It's been a few months, I think.
A couple of weeks, I think.
It's longer, dude. I think it's been a while, but
it can't have been, man. When was that? So you and Ibu must have. Ibu and Anna, feel like that can't.
I haven't been on since Jericho Gate. I distanced myself, PR reasons.
No, but you've came through on one. You must have.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember these things.
I think you did one unannounced. I think you did, and you basically did the whole show, like, so I'm sure.
Yeah, because there was one that I had to leave early, and then you just showed up.
Well, I must have been good on it. I don't even remember being there. So, anyway, I'm happy to be here. We're on the final leg of WrestlePurists Worldwide ever. And jokes aside, this actually has been a pretty important show in my... God, life sounds dramatic, but in my time in, quote, the space. And so I'm happy to be here. I have no idea what we're going to talk about, nor do you, but that's Worldwide, right? We just hang out.
Yeah, that's the point of it. And we've got Anna, lights on. You know, professional attire. You know, this is professional, and these are the hours of, like, I guess for you guys in the US, this afternoon time. This is where you get professional Anna, because a couple hours from now the lights will be off. She'll be wrapped in the blanket. You know, and that's just the way it is. You know?
Hand.
So
making jokes Anna, about Chris Jericho for 2 hours, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You get checked out, Anna. But how are you doing anyway, Anna? I know you had a long weekend, but how are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm tired, so I'm curious to see how long it's going to take until I stop being locked in and until I completely zone out again. But we'll see. I'm sad, Monty. Next week is the last episode.
Oh no, it's emotional.
That's crazy.
Is anyone going to sing?
Who can sing?
Probably.
Even can sing, yeah.
He tries.
That's more than I'm willing to do. See, I think he should sing. But yeah, it'll be
He has to sing an acoustic version of Judas.
Yeah, that would be good.
There hasn't been
That'd be
that
good.
many songs on WrestlePurists. Like many examples of our talents singing, except for back in the day when Unpurist started and they did
Right,
that.
but like,
They did the $50 and we'll sing whatever theme song you want. Right, it wasn't even theme song, it's just any song. And
any song.
AO, yeah, shout out my brother, bro. Like, I got enough love for AO, you get me, but. He's got one of the worst singer voices I've ever heard, bro. It's crazy. He's crazy.
But I feel like just purely on the back of those days, we have to be up there as a platform for most songs on a wrestling live stream platform. We have to be.
Oh yeah, definitely. But
Because it's not a strong contender list, is it? You know, I don't know. Does Dave sing a lot?
I
maybe
don't know.
back in the day, back in his prime.
I think we can take that title for sure.
Yeah.
Most singing wrestling platform. Something to be proud of.
Is there anything more like? Is there anything funny you would rather see on Twitter that's kind of harmless than like Dave Meltzer digging his heels in about something?
There's
Because that tweet on the
nothing-
weekend
yeah.
when
I
he
mean,
was like, "Let's look at the facts." When Tony thinks somebody's leaving, he does this, and this, and he didn't do this with Andrade. So
I loved.
that was godly.
I think it was Tom. I think it was Tom Green who was
It
like,
was.
yeah, and he quoted it and he said something like, "I study the patterns," and I've been here. I study the patterns is like if you're in a debate with someone and they go, "Listen, you can think what you want. I study the patterns." You kind of go, "Full." In that case, I apologize. You know,
Man, he's he's not perfect, but he's our Dave. You know, he's not the perfect Dave, but he's our Dave.
We should have him on for the last episode, you know?
Oh,
I
bro,
would
imagine
love
if we could pull that off. Dave
like,
Meltzer.
we don't change the show at all. So like, Ebu's here, Manny's here, maybe, and
Do
Dave
a
just sits
weekend
in.
recap.
He just sits in, yeah. He just sits in and we're telling worldwide stories and Dave's just smiling, just politely smiling while we tell our stories. And then one time in the stream yard and Dave's like, "Oh, good. Sounds cool."
Oh, big Dave, man. But yeah, man, he was, like I said, when he stands 10 toes down, you know, and he digs those heels in, it's a sight to see, people. It does pop me, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Well, to answer your question, Monty, I'm good.
Beautiful. Amazing.
Good, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, okay, where should we go? Well, EO Sky is the big thumbnail. It's a big week, apparently, as I've put in the
Big
thumbnail.
week.
I feel like, I was saying to Joe earlier, man, I feel like our audience, he can tell when, sometimes I'll just, you get what you get with these thumbnails, you know? It's a big week, EO Sky, but she's got a big week ahead, man. EO Sky's in amongst one of the only things in WWE that's getting much praise at the moment, which is this, this kind of feud storyline with like her and Rhea being closer as friends and Asuka getting jealous and then turning on her and forcing Kairi to go along with it. And Kairi's kind of like all, I don't know, she's doing a lot of facial expressions and stuff, you know, and it's...
That's what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so, yeah, man, like, EO and... So, to be fair, she's a busy woman, people, you know. We're nearly
But also,
we're nearly at the light at the end of the tunnel with Anna's busyness, you know, and she'll be able to, like, slowly watch the wrestling she wants to watch again, but lately she's
Which
cooked, chat. Look
WWE,
at
I don't
this.
think it would be. WWE would still not be a part of that.
EO, though, you probably would.
EO.
That's the caveat with it.
How can I ethically watch EO? You know, that's the.
When she's doing shit like this, I guess. But yeah, man. EO and Rhea, of course, they had their match a few months ago, and you know they've got respect for each other now, and the friends and stuff. And when Asuka came back, she was like hated the idea of EO and Rhea getting close, and every time like you get these interactions backstage of Asuka trying to tell EO what she can and can't do, who she can and can't be friends with, and you know, the Kabuki Warriors would like jump Rhea after matches and stuff, and EO would make the save, and it would be like this tension, and then they'd back off, and eventually, like 2 weeks ago, I think it was, like EO made the save against the Kabuki Warriors for Rhea, and instead of backing off, Asuka misted EO and forced Kairi to beat her down and stuff, and that's basically where we're at now when we're getting the tag match EO and Rhea versus Asuka and Kairi at Crown Jewel this weekend, and you know, that's where we're at. But people love it. People love it, Anna. People are absolutely loving it. And they've told the story pretty well, to be fair. You know, and it's like the characters involved are so over. Like Rhea, for example, when she comes out and makes a save or something, it's just.
Yeah.
You know, it's insane. And same with Io, but it's like Asuka and Kyrie have got, mainly Asuka's got like really good heat at the moment. So Asuka's been on pretty decent form as well, hasn't she, Joe?
I just watched the Rhea match today. Just watched it and had a really good time with it. It was interesting because, you know, memorably, that was a pretty clunky pairing a few years back when Rhea got to the main roster. She got off to a very shaky start opposite Asuka, and that was a surprise at the time because I thought that match was going to tear the house down, and it didn't. And it, you know, it was striking to see their chemistry here. By contrast, Asuka, as you say, is really sharp, locked in, and laying her stuff in, which is refreshing because for a couple of years her stuff got noticeably looser. So much so that at one point I was a little bit concerned that, you know, we had seen the best days of Asuka, right? Like she was on a very steep decline. She's, I think, as good now as she's been in at least 3 years, I would say. Rhea's, I was talking about this on my house show. Rhea's a really interesting wrestler. She has a very particular cadence and rhythm to her work. She moves slightly differently to almost anyone else you'll see on TV. She's not in an era where I think there is a real emphasis on smooth. She is not that, and I don't mean that as a criticism. She has a kind of like jerky, snappy, abrupt is a great word. Yeah, like the way she moves out there, and it really helps her bumping. She's able to really explode into these big, sharp, high angle bumps. So I really like their match. They had the little limb work stuff. I'm not as like aware of what's going on, so the Kyrie theatrics were a little bit, you know, like I kind of went, but it's Kyrie.
I think everybody's doing that. Do you know what I mean? It's Kyrie, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a different like Kyrie should act. Kyrie's one of those wrestlers you don't really produce in that way. She just has to do whatever she feels is right because she's like a cartoon character, isn't she? She's just so over the top and theatrical. But I really enjoyed the match, and it seems like that stuff is really getting over strong.
Yeah, Kyrie's so scared of Asuka, you know, and obviously playing it up and stuff. But it's just like, yeah, it's a lot, you know. It's like she'll be trying to talk to Io and Asuka, or like you'll hear Asuka call like Kyrie, and Kyrie will like fall to her knees like nah.
I might have to watch this.
Okay, Nana. So like I said,
What else do we have for this show?
A few things. We'll get to them, man. We'll get to them.
Oh,
I want to ask you a few things. So, with you being so kind of like out of the loop, what are the things that have caught your eye that you're like, oh, when I've got a minute, I'm going to catch up on this, or I'm going to watch Dynamite this weekend, or do you know what I mean? Like, what are the things that you've seen that have kind of caught your attention?
Definitely everything that Saya Kamitani is doing. Just just Stardom, the fact because this year has such a big turnover with Stardom, like so many people leaving, like the big names, you know, Maya leaving, Tom retiring, that could have really been like the full end of it. And we talked about it last week as well. Saya just took that and like ran with it, but is now to a level that she's the most popular Joshi probably in the world right now, you know, like in Japan, let's not count Io, you know, in a non-American company, but definitely the biggest one in Japan. And so I haven't been able to watch like every match she had in the title reign. I'm not being able to like follow everything. Like, of course, the big matches, I catch up on it like here and there, but I do want to sit down and do a full Saya moment because that was one of the first original Saya Warriors. Yeah, you know, if anyone remembers, I've been there. I invested early now. I'm a billionaire. So like I need to get back on it. You know, my goals right there. But that's definitely the first thing. Mm-hmm. But also I have not seen just like anything a lot in general. But Bandido, I also love Bandido for years now, since like, you know, PWG like days. And I just really want to watch more of what he's doing. I haven't watched the Hechicero match yet, which I heard was phenomenal as well. Like with the rematch.
They've had two. They've had two.
Exactly, both of them. I need to watch both, Monty. So, and just overall, like the card for Wrestle Dream is the first pay-per-view in a couple months that I think I'm like, okay, I have to watch this live. I don't care if it starts at 2 a.m. and I have to work the next day at 7. Like, I am watching that. I am tapping in. Like, Hangman and Samoa Joe, like, come on.
If it starts at 2
know?
a.m. and your work starts at 7, like, you're not sleeping that evening, you know? That's just...
And it will be worth it, Monty. It will be worth it.
Yeah, man, I hope it is. I hope it is, man.
Yeah.
Hangman
and Samoa Joe, they can literally just stand in the ring, like, punch each other for 5 minutes, and I'll be like...
Well, that's basically what the storyline's been, so it's in a good way, you know. You give him, like, the smallest, the most simple of angles, you know, and it's like, Joe will get it over, brother, you know. Look at Ibu, shout out Ibu in the chat. Member of the WrestlePurists channel. Sign up now, people. Anna was screaming in my ear about Saya over 3 years ago. She's screaming at everyone, bro. She's putting us on.
Bro, I was making Ibu sit on Discord, you know. I don't know what time it was. Like, at midnight, I was making him sit on Discord and playing him Saikamten and Natsupoi for the white belt. You know, I've been on this. Like, I tweeted something about, like, it was this photo of Saya, and I said, like, oh, this is one of the coolest, like, a wrestler has ever looked. And someone commented, like, someone replied, being like, oh, you don't even know this girl. Who do you think you're talking to, you know? I was the president of the Sakamitani fan club for years, and now people are trying to take that away from me. That's crazy. I need to lock in again. I cannot lose my title. That's so much disrespect.
Saya, man. Yeah, you've been flying that flag, man. You have been flying that flag. Nobody can take that away from you. It'd be like someone trying to take away Roddy Strong from Hull, but you know what I mean? That could never run. Could not let that happen, you know? But yeah, Joe, you're a big TNA guy, you know?
There's no need. Yep, I am. Yeah, carry on. Yeah. What do you got for me? Go on.
It's a big week, isn't it? I'm just saying, we're talking about big weeks. Big week for TNA.
I mean, it is a big week for TNA. It's an interesting time for TNA. They're in a very strange place where they actually, like, if you just, you know, if you woke up from a coma and someone explained to you, like, this is where they're at, you'd go...
Kalani Jordan is the current knockout champion.
Right, but then you'd go, like, they had this many people at Snowversary, you'd go, blimey, what happened? You know, did Eddie Hearn buy him out or something? It's like, it's an interesting thing, but it's also, it feels, it's like uncanny valley is the best way I can put it. As someone that actually is interested in TNA, like, my interest is lower than it's been in a long time because it feels so weird. All of it feels weird.
It does.
The card, like, the Bound for Glory card, obviously, I mean, in terms of quality, it's a one-match card, right? Like, it's Leon and Javon. That's the match. I mean, from a quality point of view.
Listen, the people are going to get in there. The people will be there for Trick and Santana, brother.
That doesn't really... The one that I am...
What about the Dudley Boys, Joe? Don't fuck with the Dudley Boys.
Man.
Hey. I'm not even going to do a bit. I will be there locked in. I'm ready.
Are you doing a grin along?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah.
I will admit, and I'm not trying to be safety police, I am slightly concerned about Devon Dudley choosing to wrestle at this point in his life. I think that is probably a mistake, but I'm not, you know.
I'm concerned about all of them, bar Bubba, I
think.
So...
The rest of those guys are fine. Like, they'll be fine. Devon is...
Yeah, Devon's like, you know.
Yeah,
that.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
But I'll be watching it. I think it's like... I do think the way they've promoted it has been cool, like, legitimately. And, like, that video they made was really cool. And it's...
What, the last great tag match?
No, that's fucking stupid. But
what are you talking about, then?
So the idea of, like, it's a nostalgia match, and they've been willing to embrace that. It's a Legends match, and they're not hiding from, like, how old the guys are. I think that's cool, because I think, you know, like, I've been consistent with this with any kind of pro. It could be anywhere in the world. Old man matches pop me. Like, I think it's a cool thing, and
yeah,
you're not obviously going to go into expecting it to be great. Like, I wouldn't have expected them to have a great match 10 years ago, to be honest. Like, let alone now. But I think it could be cool. I mean, the tables should help, but I also there's a part of me. Yeah, there's a part of me that thinks that's a mistake because, like, a tables match kind of inherently has to be like a bit of a stunt show, and they can't. I mean, Jeff will do a stunt show because Jeff's insane, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it is a big show for them.
Hey, man, like, Jeff takes ice baths now, brother.
Yeah, I mean,
have you seen that clip?
I haven't, no.
Bro,
No.
he's like, bro, started doing, like, he's like, how old now? He's like,
Yeah.
bro, I started taking ice baths. Game
I do
changer.
think-
And it's like, it's Jeff Hardy, bro. How has Jeff Hardy only just discovered ice baths? Like, what the fuck?
I was just talking about this, like, I only just found out they're not in the Observer Hall of Fame. And that actually
Really?
did, like, blow my mind. Like, apparently they're not expected to go in. That's kind of crazy. I'm not even a big Hardys fan, but, like, that feels kind of nuts. I think they've become a bit... to me, they're undeniable at this point. They still matter, dude. Like, fans still go to shows to see the Hardys. It's 2025. Like, I don't know. I've kind of... This TNA run, weirdly, as someone that has no nostalgia for the Hardys, like, actually has increased my appreciation for them because they are, like, their lead attraction. If you go to a TNA show, like, most people there to see the Hardys. In 2025, that's pretty impressive.
No,
You know, whatever you
they
think
just
of it,
did
it's
a
like-
Kai Cenat stream as well, just to talk
Yeah.
to, like, it's 2025, bro, and they can still appeal to, like, young
It's
audiences.
amazing. Yeah.
you
Like
know?
their influence on the business. I don't know. I've kind of, they've like, my appreciation for them has actually soared with this, to be honest. But hopefully everyone gets home safely. I mean, the match is going to be what it's going to be. Again, the table element, I think, could either make or break it, ironically. Pun intended, I guess. But we'll see. Hopefully everyone gets home safely.
There it is, people. The TNA analysis from our local correspondent, Joe Hulbert. He's Mr. TNA in this side, at least on this side of Twitter, bro. You know, who else we got? Rob. Does Rob
Rob's
still
pretty
watch
big.
TNA, chat?
I don't know, but he's a pretty big TNA guy. He is a big TNA guy. Speaking of such, Monty, you know what we're doing on the grin this week? Speaking of being Mr. TNA, counting down the greatest matches in Bound for Glory history, brother. Preparing. Getting in the mood. It's a festive season.
What's the one that you're itching to talk about, Joe?
Christian Cage, Samoa Joe, 2007. Unbelievable match. So good. If you've never seen it, watch it as soon as this show's done. It's so good. Awesome match.
Is there any women's match there, Joe?
I think if someone watched every show, I think one of the Jordan and Marsha matches would get on there, to be honest. But I don't think they're going to get on there for reasons we don't need to get into live here on WrestlePurists Worldwide.
Yep.
And it isn't because of Jordan being on Self-Made.
And shout out Jordan. The guys have got booked for Self-Made, which is 5 p.m. Eastern. For those of you not on Twitter and may have missed it, the guys are doing a Self-Made session show at 5:30 Eastern. 5:30 Eastern. They're getting Jordan Grace to pass through as well. So I was saying to these two before we went live, like the idea of like Jordan Grace being on a live stream that AO and Chris is on is like, how does that look? You know, like what the fuck is gonna happen there? So I hope they don't just let Ibu like take over, if that makes sense, and just let him like basically like just have a chat with Jordan. I wanna see how Bread interacts with Jordan Grace. Like I need to see that. But yeah, man, shout out them. Shout out our new members as well. Van Jimene, of course, long-time supporter. Shout out to you, brother. And of course, Grant Hudson as well. The same goes for you. Long-time supporter. Appreciate it massively. Guys, don't forget, you can also get into the WrestlePurists member side of the channel. And we've got a lot of stuff going on there. You know, you get a bit of Ibu, you get a bit of Tempest, you get a bit of me and Joe. There's more stuff to be added as well. Andrew Baydal is going to do some stuff on there. So lock in, people. $5. That's all it is. And you get, I don't know, probably get like 20 shows a month or something. I don't know. But anyway, couple super chats. GMB 199. What's the ceiling for Javon Evans versus Leon Slater's match at Bound for Glory? On whose scale? On a Dave scale. If we just go off Dave's
4.5.
scale. No, I think Dave could go. Dave could go big fives on this one, brother. If it goes out, you think it's yeah.
He loves the business, yeah. Here's what I would say, more than the star ratings and stuff, this is what the actual ceiling is, I think. They could have a match that on Monday morning sparks conversation about, like, it's time to let the new guys run the game. They could, right? Like, now, let me be clear. To me, that's more interesting than, like, and that's not, you know, the question wasn't what star ratings, it's just what's the ceiling. I think it's more interesting to imagine a world in which this is one of those matches where people actually go, these guys they're not next, they're now, right? Like these two guys things are changing here. So I think that's what I'm looking for. I'm intrigued how much they lean into the athletic potential of the match, because obviously these are two of the most dynamic flyers in all of wrestling, right? Do they go the whole way with that? Do we get an almost Osprey Ricochet 2016 style approach, or do they subvert that slightly and have more of a conventional title match? I'm intrigued by that more than kind of how high it gets on a scale, because that's interesting. I mean, I love both guys. I'm intrigued how they approach it, you know?
Tyler in the chat says, Joe, is Leon the best British prospect ever? Strong.
I don't feel super qualified to answer it. Like, what I'll say is, when I first saw him, I knew he was going to go to the States and get on TV, because like his frame, the way he projected, and obviously his athleticism. And then I saw him work with Zach, and he had like a wrestling match with Zach. And I went, okay, he's like the real deal. This is the biggest compliment I can give him. I was there when Will worked Okada on Rev Pro in 2015. And I thought Will was incredible and amazing. As a potential star, Leon stood out more to me the first time I saw him. And he was just in a random tag match with the Sunshine Machine guys. Like, so, big, best British prospect, I don't know. I'm not qualified. He was more than almost anyone else I can remember on the scene. I went star rather than great wrestler, star, which is a different thing. So, he's special. He's absolutely special. And he's got a real charm to him. He can be a little bit cocky and a little bit mean if he needs to be. I think he's going to be a big, big, big piece of pro wrestling's future.
Yeah, man, shout out the 0121. You may see Joe there soon. Keep an eye on that, people.
Yeah.
Lobby, $10. Excuse me if I got that wrong. Anna, thoughts on the hate Saya gets? I saw a post on the timeline calling Saya versus Azumi a terrible match and calling Saya a psyop. What do you say to the, quote, smarter fans who have seemingly dismissed Kamitani? Oh, boy.
No, honestly, all that I have to say is like the same criticism that I saw people doing towards her. It's like a similar criticism that they've done towards like Osprey. It's just like that style of wrestler. So the wrestlers that they perceive as like, oh, every match it has a formula and they're doing the same thing and it's not realistic and this and that, and like, I mean, I think it's just different types of wrestling, and if it's a wrestling that you don't like, no one is forcing you to watch it. But she is generally a great wrestler, and I don't think this argument of like, oh, but every match is the same formula. No, because she works different with different people, and like you can go back 3 years and watch matches of her with the same people, and the matches are going to be different. I do think for a while there, she got a bit stuck on doing things like when she was really trying to like get the character a bit. But now she's really like found her pacing, and maybe it's just not for everyone, but like I just personally don't agree. I think she's a great wrestler, and I think every time something gets like popular, or every time people are complimenting something, someone just feels like they have to be against it, like they just have to be contrarian, and they just have to like be smarter and different than everyone else and say like, this actually sucks, like who cares? Who gives a fuck? It's good. Let people enjoy things. Like, it is good wrestling. If you don't like it, then it's not for you. Get over it. It's like, you don't have to watch it. Move on with your life. But I think, yeah, just watching it to say something about it, if you don't like it, it's just because people are saying positive things about it. It's just so stupid. Like, get a life,
It's the contrarians, isn't it, Joe? We're not talking about Alex, talking about.
I've missed all of this discourse, but yes, we're not talking about Alex. I don't think he has a strong opinion on Saya Kamitani.
Probably would like it.
Yeah, probably. I haven't seen this. I think I saw the clip in question, but I didn't. Was this the clip where everyone was like Ospreyism? Is that what you're referencing, Anna? Is this what we're talking about?
Yeah. I think it was like I saw that tweet as well. It was like a clip from her and Azumi and someone being like, "Oh my god, this match is so bad" or something like that, And it's like, I get it if it's not for you. But people cannot see a wrestler being complimented or someone complimenting a match without wanting to find things that they don't like about it and acting like their opinion about it is like the ultimate truth. Instead of being like, oh, this is not the wrestling that I like, is like, this is actually bad.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
You know?
I mean, I've watched Dax Harwood versus Daniel Garcia 8 times now, so I mean, sometimes you like what you like, don't you? You know, you just like what you like. You know, here's what it is. But
Yeah, they say like, yeah, never lace your boots again to Saya and Azumi, which is just like. And then you click on the profiles of Liv Morgan fan. You know, like I'm just saying, there's something for everyone. There's something for everyone. For me personally, you know.
You're talking about the halfway WWE Wrestler of the Year in July. Hold on. That was a window there. You know, obviously injuries always suck. If Liv had just gone if she'd have made it to September, October before getting hurt, Montel and I award season would have done some horrific things, I feel. And we don't even feel strongly about it, but sometimes you just see an opening, don't you, to attack. You gotta. It's we were doing a show on the Green like a month or two ago, and the show was a role. We had to fill a role. So if I could say to you, okay, we can have any wrestler in the world who's going to be our monster heel, and we throw some names around, like Oba, whatever. And the role was working babyface, and we were about 8 minutes into the segment, and I didn't like any of the options. I just went, Andrade. It's Andrade. Fuck it. And when I said it, I kind of that's probably not true, but it felt right at the time. I could have seen Montel and I doing that in February award season, just going, you know what? Let's give it to Liv, guys. Let's give it to Liv.
She's a star. You know, we'd run all those plays, bro. We'd run all those plays.
Emailing Dave about quarter-hour evidence that we could use on the air.
Hey man, Liv Morgan.
But I mean, I think the whole thing with like the hate that some wrestlers get is just because people just they cannot see people saying like good things about something, and like that's it. There are some wrestlers that deserve it, absolutely. Like let's not. I've been known to hate on some people, but like. When
really?
I do it is correct and it's right.
Well, no, hold on, because that's dangerous territory there.
I was never wrong about anything, but when other people do it, it's like, come on.
Now, there is something to that though. Like, there is a, with it says in the super chat, a couple of people said in the chat the hashtag smarter fans, and it's like wrestling is weird in that sense because it's one of those mediums where it's like there's so much to learn and there's so many different varieties of it that you can kind of I guess be knowledgeable about, but I feel like when people actually do dive into these things and learn more about wrestling, there's almost kind of like an inescapable urge to like prove that on some level, it's like, oh, you guys like Roman Reigns matches, what do you know about Hashimoto? And it's just like, all right, bro.
It's all subjective. I mean, that's the honest truth is we're all, the way that social media is, we're all just in the same room talking to each other. That's the problem with it, It's like you can't most of us will see everyone's opinion about everything in wrestling Twitter because we're this deep in. If you're watching this, you're probably deep in enough to know what this tweet is about. It's just a tweet. It's just someone watching it and going, "This was shit," wasn't it? That's it. And then we all see it. It's like in that way, Twitter can be it can skew things. The example I always use is I remember someone tweeting, "I like Rhea Ripley," and it's like. You realise Rhea Ripley's like one of the most popular wrestlers in the world, but you're online so much you convince yourself you're like a lone warrior. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says about Rhea Ripley. I'm a fan. It's like, yeah, man, she's really popular.
The Jey Uso one was a big example of that as well.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
Jey was getting crucified basically like a lot of this year, and it's like if you was just on Twitter and stuff, you'd think, oh, WWE fans hate Jey, bro. They fucking love him, So it's like it's just one of those things, we can get it can we shouldn't let like these discursive things like warp our perceptions of these, like whether it's Rhea, whether it's Saya, whoever it is,
Yeah, and just it's like when people start getting loud about something, but even if it's like positive, people feel like they have to be even louder on the negative. So instead of being like, "Oh, I didn't like it," they're like, "Oh, never lace your boots up again," because someone said like, "Oh, this was one of my favorite matches of the year." Then they think they have to go over that, So it's like people trying to like go over each other. Because if people had just said like, "Oh yeah, Saya, she's a great wrestler and she had very good matches," no one would feel like this angry to this point, They would be like, "Oh, maybe I don't like it, whatever." But it's because people are saying, "Oh, wow, she's like wrestler of the year. She's one of the best in the world right now because Joshi in Japan." Da, 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 da. people feel like they have to be like very loud against it if they don't agree. So it's just people constantly trying to like be louder than each other in a place that is like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, if you turn off your phone, it doesn't exist. Like,
Yeah, it's you gotta spot these smarter fans, Joe. You know, I think there's some tales that I've noticed along the years. You know, so like like the cliche analysis things that people will say about matches, whether it's like what we'll use the Sayer example. It's like, oh, all the matches are the same or something like that. You know. And like they'll land on one of these cliche criticisms and they'll use it across different things even when it doesn't properly apply, you know. I don't know. I just feel like with wrestling, there's so many people like just trying to like.
It's anything though, dude.
You know?
Film Twitter. If you're on film Twitter, you know.
But yeah, film Twitter. You would expect it with film Twitter, I think, because it's just like it's film Twitter, isn't it? Film like.
Yeah, but it's people.
Everyone thinks they're critics now because of Letterboxd and shit.
There are popular wrestlers that we all think suck. Every person in the chat that goes for it, and every person on screen, like 100%. It's just part. It's part what makes it fun. You know, we will see the same. I can sit and watch the exact same match as Chris O or Rob, and like we will have completely different perspectives on it. Just watching it. Obviously, people can get snarky, but people do that in general. Like, I mean, that's just hosting and stuff, but. It's, you know, at the end of the day, I think I like there to be a range of opinions because to me it's just part of it. I mean, look at the wrestlers I like. I mean, Jesus wept. I mean, it's you know, that's part of the fun of it. And what I think is great about wrestling, what I love about wrestling is it's that kind of beauty in the eye of the beholder thing. It has an element of sport, obviously, but there's no stat line, is there, really? You know, I mean, it's entirely subjective, and that is... much closer to what I just mentioned with movies, music, whatever it may be. So it's an interesting thing. That's what's fun about it. Yeah, I mean, Jey Uso, yeet, you know.
I think someone said it in the chat earlier. I forgot who, but it's just like I think the best way to kind of like look at these things, if you do want to kind of like look deeper into the wrestling that you like and kind of like figure out like what your different tastes are, is like when you watch something and you like it. Take note of why you liked it, even if it's the silliest of things, you know, because that's what like wrestling is, you know what I mean? There's like Joe said earlier, and same with me, like there's wrestlers that I like, bro, that are like not your conventional good workers or whatever, but I might like their in-ring work because I might like the clunkiness or the ruggedness or the, do you know what I mean? I think so. Yeah. It's always important to when you like things to at least know why you like them and like think about why you like them, and I think that will help you be able to kind of explain your tastes a lot better, whether it's on Twitter or whether it's on conversations like these, you know.
Yeah, and because also like the thing with the clip, the clip wasn't great, but that doesn't mean the match was bad or that they're bad wrestlers because they had 30 seconds that weren't perfect, you know. And I think that's where people kind of lost themselves in that discussion. Because you get it, that's something that always happens with wrestling, especially if someone gets like a 30-second clip from a 20-minute match and then calls that 30-second shit, and then people just completely turn on it and saying like, oh yes, they are shit wrestlers, they should never wrestle again. And this is because of like 30 seconds that were taken out of a full match. And that's just something that happens so much, especially with wrestlers like Osprey, who have like those movesets that are a bit more like flashy in a way, you know, that are not as realistic as you can say. So I'm just used to that happening a lot at this point, but it's still always like, come on, you know.
I definitely agree. Judging a whole match on a clip is silly. It's always a dangerous game because I never want to discourage people from, you know, if someone doesn't like something and they write a review of it, even if I disagree completely, I'd rather they write the review and post the review, you know. I mean, like, some of my favorite people in the space, I'm on a different galaxy to them with wrestling taste, but I love that they express their opinion and they have their strong opinion and they communicate in a way that I find entertaining. I mean, there are reviewers that slam guys I love, but they do it in a way that I find insightful, interesting, analytical,
explaining the point of view properly.
Yeah, but the problem is, and again, this is where it goes back to the point, if we're all in the same room, it's like, if you're just a wrestling fan, you don't necessarily have to explain. You could literally just tweet, I think the guy sucks, because you're just a wrestling fan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly.
If you're doing this, whatever this is, you obviously, there's something to be said for thinking about what you're going to say and why do I feel the way I do. But the problem is we're all in the same conversation, which is where it gets skewed, I think, sometimes. I mean,
yeah, it can be messy.
yeah, if you're Jey Uso 10 on Twitter, I think you should be able to just tweet Gunther sucks. I don't think I should be able to DM you and go, excuse me, explain
Get
yourself.
quote tweeted to oblivion. That's what I say. Like, if you're one of those fans who does want to kind of like get more into like analysing why you like things and stuff, and that's why I'd say kind of like try and learn about why you like things and be able to explain it, you know, and articulate it and stuff. But yeah, to Joe's point, 100%, bro. If you are just Jey Uso 10, fucking call it. Do you know what I mean? Just be a fan, innit? This is just to the people. I guess the hashtag smart fans, you know. But it's you know, Twitter's a mess. Fucking how many times have we had those conversations on this channel? We've already done that super chat. GMB, the original 199. Cool heels, Seth, MJF, etc. are annoying. Thoughts? Everything's case by case. My feelings about Seth, I don't need to get into them because, as we've seen a few times on this channel, it's like once I start, I end up accidentally going into these like these tangents. But everything's case by case. So even Seth and MJF are like completely different things, you know.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously biased, but I don't think Max is a cool heel.
I think it's more
right
to
now.
when he was like before he turned babyface, and it was like every time he came,
I could
out,
see that.
everyone was like, "Fuck yeah,"
Yeah.
you know. But not now.
That was 3 years ago. You know, like
a while ago. Yeah.
I
It's
think
been a
he's
while
heel.
since he tried being cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just a heel now. I mean, your mileage may vary as always with Max, but I don't think you can say he's like not trying to be a heel. It depends. I haven't seen a lot of the Seth stuff. I've seen Seth get criticism for like the music and stuff. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's part of the package, and I don't know whether they want to get rid of that. I get it, but heels will always get over, and sometimes heels get vilified for getting cheered, and it's like that's just gonna happen sometimes. It doesn't mean you're doing a bad job. Now, in your matches, you should absolutely push back on it. I definitely think that's the case, but if you come out for your entrance and the crowd cheers, it doesn't mean you're a failure. I think that's so overstated. Like, I haven't seen the Seth stuff. I don't think Max is a cool heel, so I'd need some other examples.
Like
For
Kyle
current
Fletcher?
heels. I think Kyle is like, I mean, cool is subjective. I think Kyle Fletcher is like a slimy, horrible heel. You know,
Well, there was that.
He's like
not
arrogant
discourse.
and-
There was a few. There was
Yeah.
a few people. Was it a week or two ago when he wrestled Commander, because he did kind of go with the crowd a bit, you know, in the ad break.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did
There
that.
was a
but
few
other than
people.
that,
There was a few.
like,
That's what I mean. There was a few people being, it's kind of disappointed to see him do this because normally he's so good at pushing back on it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kyle is a good example because, like I said, he's been so good at it, you know.
he's been like
since
a
he's turned
classical heel. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of I think Kyle Fletcher this year more than any year. It's like I think it's easy to say, you know, most improved, breakout star, you know, future main eventer of the year, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Which
I think this
again,
year-
I bought the stocks early. Who was talking about Ozzy Opener? I'm
Yeah.
saying.
But yeah, Kyle Fletcher, I think above most things, I think you can really see this year that although he's like 27 or some shit, he's got like 12 years of experience. And I think you can see that. Like, I think you can see that he isn't just someone like, I don't know, man. Like, I think we've seen a lot of these guys turn heel, like these young prospects and stuff, and they don't. Look at Jack Perry, for example. You know, we see someone like that, and like, say what we want about like kind of all the situations surrounding Jack Perry's heel turn and how people may feel about him. But I'm just talking about just his work, bro. Like, he turned heel, and it was such a big adjustment to him, and it didn't quite work, you know. Whereas like someone like Kyle Fletcher, like you can see that. How many years experience has Kyle actually got? Because I know it's something absurd.
It's a
for his
long
age.
time. Yeah.
I'm typing him in on
I'll be honest,
Cage
dude.
Match as we speak.
The more we
like
discuss
10
this,
more.
I
don't
think he's
there's-
definitely over 10.
I don't think there's a lot of cool
Yeah,
heels
11
out there
years.
right now. Do you?
11 years.
I'm struggling to think of who's a cool heel. Who is a cool heel?
A cool. Okay, what would be your
Seth.
definition of a cool heel? Like
It's
someone who
definitely-
is the heel but
since
wants to
he's
get
used Seth as a-
cheered and.
Yeah, since he's used Seth as an
yeah.
example, like his
So he gets Seth for
theme
it.
music, the way that he talks about himself, like
Okay.
he's gonna lead everyone into the future, and you know what I mean. Like, I was here when no one else were. Like, he still runs all that, and yeah, you can say, it's part of his deluded heel gimmick and his delusions and stuff. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like, there is like some weird,
Okay,
I
yeah.
guess, threads to his character at the moment.
I've seen
if
other
he's
people
trying
say
to be
that.
like a full-on like heel, you know.
Yeah,
And
I've
obviously,
seen people
you
say
guys
that.
don't know how I feel about Seth, and so like
Yeah,
you can
you
take
love him.
anything guys about him with a pinch of salt.
Big
but
fan.
but yeah, Seth definitely. I don't know. Roman was obviously a big Roman's like the classic like example, you know. Um,
The
especially
aura
towards the
farmers,
end when he
basically.
stopped being as especially towards the end when he stopped being as
Evil.
like toxic with his family. Do you know what I mean? Because that was like the real meat of his actual heel work, wasn't it? It was like how much of a sociopath, how manipulative and stuff he would be, and obviously they could really drive that home in the Thunderdome because and obviously they were able to, because they invested so much into that in the Thunderdome, that was able to carry into front of the live crowd, and we could do the whole what was a big Sami Zayn segment and stuff, the trial of Sami Zayn and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? They could do all those things that were huge.
The reality is, you need. I think a wrestling show is better for having, every type of heel and every type of babyface. There should be some heels that are borderline pathetic with their attempts to be cool. There should be some heels who are really vicious and mean. There should be some heels who are, cocky and trash talkers and getting fans' faces. There should be some heels who have a certain prestige and take themselves so seriously they are kind of cool. In the same way, on the babyface side, you should have underdogs, you should have ass kickers, you should have talkers. You should have every man. You need all of it. I think, and that's part of putting a wrestling card together. I think sometimes there's like a sentiment of, no one wants to be a heel anymore. I don't think that's true. I think you can do it. You just, you need to be given the right stuff to do it with too, right? Like if you're looking at, if you take, for example, let's think of a heel, like Drew. I take Drew, for example. Like, what heat is Drew supposed to be getting? You know what I'm saying? Like, he can only do so much, right? Now, you have to be put in a position. Ricochet is a great example. Ricochet was getting great heat, and still gets heat because he's fucking great at his job. But he's going to get more heat when he's working with Swerve than he is doing the six-man feud, right? Like, you still need to be given the opportunity to do it. Ricochet's a perfect example of the antithesis of the cool heel because he seems to relish every indication he's not cool.
So. He leaned into the things, man. That I guess some people, I'm speaking for myself at least, like, would want him to lean into as a wrestling character because, like, whether it was in WWE or early AEW, it was like you could just see through it, you know what I mean? When Ricochet would try and cut like your baby face fired up promo or try and be kind of cool with it, it's like, bro, this is not you know them ones. Whereas this, he can kind of ham it up a bit and make himself a bit geekier and a bit more like all the things that make him a great heel at the moment, So.
But that was also something I think during the construction of Punk and AJ Lee and Seth and Becky, they were like really, Seth and Becky were really leaning into like the goofiness, a bit. Like they were really making themselves look like, especially Becky, really make themselves look like stupid and goofy for AJ and Punk, and that was like one of the first times in a while that I really, really enjoyed their characters.
Yeah. I thought Becky, I know there was some conversation, like not everyone liked the match, and I get it, it was 30 minutes long, but I thought they did a great job, Becky and Seth, in that match. They made it so easy for AJ, upon her return to like just slot in. And the way that Becky, selling and bumping get tied together so often. Like Becky is, she's willing to get kind of crazy in that front, but what Becky's actually good at and was great at in that match was the way she sold with her face and how scared she was of AJ, right? Like, she didn't have to do that, man. AJ's not 7 foot tall, like she knew like that's what that match needs her to be, and that's part of being a kind of a chameleon. And like, so I think actually there's definitely some people doing it right. I think the industry's babyface heavy right now in general. I think there's a lot of babyfaces, right? Like WWE is like, I don't know if it's still this way, but there was a minute there where WWE's babyface depth chart was insane compared to the heel ranks. Like, insane. So it goes cycles and such,
Speaking of heels, I guess some news broke about about an hour ago. So it was reported earlier today by Sean on Fourth Select that Santos Escobar's WWE deal is up very soon. It has since been reported by Mike Johnson at PW Insider that he will be departing WWE as of midnight. So Santos Escobar, who we once thought was going to be quite an important part of this WWE AAA partnership and be featured heavily. I believe even Ibu said this on the show. Like there was talks of him potentially winning the Mega Championship and stuff like that. So it seemed like when this deal first came to fruition that he was going to be an important player. So I don't know what's happened in the months since. He has been featured, but not in that prominent of a role. Although he has been regularly featured on these like AAA Worlds Collide and all that sort of stuff. But to get to the point now where it's like, yeah, we're cutting him. Why not cutting him, letting his deal run out, and he's going to be it seems like he'll be a free agent as of midnight. So,
wow,
yeah, man, Santos Escobar, and
that story is literally like happening now.
Apparently, here we go. I'm literally reading it now because obviously
Okay.
it's broadcast. We've been live. It was said his contract expires at the end of the day, and WWE made overtures to keep Escobar, including a higher contract offer, but he turned down the offer. Fuck?
The AAA part of this has been interesting to me for a while because if you go to the States to become a WWE superstar, are you going to be enthralled by it or inspired by it being kind of like parked in AAA? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a weird thing, right? I don't know. Everyone will feel different.
It's different for everyone. Yeah,
Different
like,
for everyone.
What age are you? Where are you at in your
What's
career?
your
Do you want to just
aspiration?
make money? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what do you want to do?
I mean, I'll say this. I'll be locked in to see how he works because for the last 18 months, he has been extraordinarily uninspired. Like, genuinely, like one of the least energetic wrestlers on TV for the last 2 years, probably, right? Like, at times has looked like he may have fell asleep in the middle of a heat segment and has sort of come to and gone, how long we got, ref? Maybe he's just been popping himself. I mean, that sounds fucking beast if so, but he's been really bad for the last stretch, but it would be very funny if as soon as he leaves, he starts, going through the gears and his fight. I mean, that's possible, right? Anything's possible.
Yeah, definitely.
I would
bro.
hope so. I liked him. There was a period of time that I really liked him, that I genuinely thought like, oh my god, this is like
Yeah, me
such a
too.
great wrestler, and then
Yeah.
he just kind of,
Yeah.
Listen, the streets remember the feud in NXT with Tony D'Angelo in it. So that's all I'm gonna say.
I did
I
like
got time for Santos Escobar.
And he can
innit?
talk. He can talk.
Talk
It's just-
well, bro.
I mean, I gotta believe he's going to attempt to do something in these matches. I mean, because the way he was working, I feel like he struck me as a guy that would be thrilled by the idea of an increased offer. I mean, he just seems so like he was out there in his
Chilling.
t-shirt and fucking. I think I saw him wrestle LA Knight about 82 times. I think on SmackDown back in the glory days of the Blue Brand when we were doing that bit on here. So, I mean, he's been bad, but like. It's an interesting little trend, I guess. There's been a few guys as of late to turn down deals, maybe. Or am I imagining that? I guess you
Jasmine Nix turned down, a re-up on her NXT deal.
Karrion Kross.
Oh, yeah. The big one. The big one.
We want Cross.
I wonder how much they were offering because obviously he's a main roster guy, isn't it? So it's like the save at the minimum's $350. Is what Santos turning down that kind of money? What are we
Especially
talking
with
about
where
here?
with where the
What are we
market's
talking
at
about
now,
here, Joe?
That is really interesting because with where the market's at, like one of the biggest hitters in the lucha libre scene is now gone too. They're not on the board. So like, for the 350 thing, I said this to you before. I'm like,
Skeptical on it.
I don't take a lot of convincing to think that's not fully true. I just struggle with that. I gotta be honest. That just feels like such a big jump from NXT. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's got some sort of plan. I mean, God bless him. Good luck to the guy. Cool guy.
If it was,
Can
if I had
talk.
to guess what the main roster minimum was, I would like to say it was more like 150.
So do I.
You
but
know.
that's what they said it was. No one said it was wrong, right?
Yeah,
So,
but at the same, you'd think that like somebody that had been released
yes.
would come out and be like, I wish I was making that money. You know them ones,
Because-
but
Just to be completely honest,
it hasn't happened.
like when you said Escobar's leaving, I presumed it was just a case of like his deal's coming up and they're just going their separate ways. Like that being what it was stunned me. Because where is he headed to next? You know, I mean, I'm sure he knows what he's doing, and it's a cool dude.
Do you think he would go to AEW? Do you think he would? Do you think he or AEW like they would benefit from him being there? I feel like that's the most important question. Yeah.
Just to be completely honest, like I don't know what he would bring to a roster of that size and scale. Like,
Don't Callis family always needs more people, Joe.
Oh, clearly, but I just like if I was just taking away all of the obvious points of like the money, he would be someone that I could see getting into the idea of being like a big fish in a small pond. The question is, what pond? Because TNA is now also like kind of, you know what I'm saying? So it's just I don't know what the other bidders are. Like maybe he's going to do something maybe he has something set up in Mexico, but I don't know what that looks like. I have no idea. Like, is there a political thing with CMLL? What's the history of him and CMLL? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like, is that saying he can slot into, or is that a bridge he can't walk across? I don't know what the situation is. Yeah, because I don't know where. I can't remember what his home territory was. So I apologize.
I think it was CMLL, wasn't it? I think it
so
was
maybe he's just going to go. I mean, they're fucking red hot. Maybe he just wants to do that. Interesting.
I mean, someone in the chat, I'm sure someone in the chat will correct me if I was wrong, but I think it was CMLL.
I mean, he kind of that kind of has to be his like.
He has that CMLL performer vibe. You know, when he was doing well in WWE, and you know when he wasn't uninspired and bored. You know, I think you could see that element of his game as well. That he was like a former Arena Mexico guy. You know, but maybe I'm just imagining things. You know,
because I mean. There's always a prestige, I think, too, when guys come back and they've been on been on US TV and they've done it for a bit. Like there's something you said for them coming back to the scene, right? I think there's like I could see that. The AEW thing is hard to. If anyone over there has watched these matches, I can't imagine them being like fucking locked in. Anything's possible. 2013 left on bad. So yeah. The only reason I went to that, I'm never educated on this stuff, guys, so I'm just spitballing. I literally found this out when you guys did, but like, I just don't know what else.
But that was also 12 years ago, you know?
Like, I can only assume that's what he's thinking because I don't know what else he could possibly be thinking, especially how old is Santos? He's got to be nearly 40.
No idea. I'll Google
He's got to be around 40, dude. He has to be up there.
Santos Escobar.
He's been working like Greg Valentine in 99.
41. 41.
It's an interesting story. It's a very interesting story. Good luck to him.
Yeah, man.
He should win the big gold, the 10 pounds of gold.
Should show up at Bound for Glory. But that's been a weird trend recently as well. People leave WWE and they're showing up on TNA and then they're involved in the TNA WWE angle. Like, it's weird, bro.
Scares the hell out of me, yeah. I don't get that. It's weird.
Yeah. Weird.
It's an interesting time. Like the wrestling economy is really, really interesting right now.
Let's keep it going. Supers, Black Yakuza 94. So Big G is gonna chop Cena into retirement, huh?
Big G is Paul White. You gotta be careful. Gunther's gotta be medium G. Everyone calls Paul White Big G. Medium G, Gunther. That will be. That's a great opponent for Cena's last match. Definitely.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think it's the best possible one.
I agree. If you're going to go with something sentimental, that's the one. Yeah, definitely.
I'm not fully convinced they don't do Roman.
Big Rome?
I'm not fully convinced.
Are we excited for Roman's return?
Again? He returned?
Yeah.
When was it? Last week? Was it last week? I think he came back last week, I think.
The big man is back.
It's all he does now is he returns, he does a couple angles, runs a match on pay-per-view, and he fucks off again, bro. He's got it figured out, man.
he's like Leon Worldwide.
No, we don't run an angle. We don't do right off angles.
You should, dude. You should. My mic should just break. It's like the whole was gone. He's not back for a while.
Amari 316. Where's my Joe Hulbert's TNA video essay?
It's It's never happening. I finished the whole thing. I just didn't like it, so it's just gonna sit there. I have another TNA video essay about their Manhattan Center TVs, which is gonna come out eventually, but it's something like because there's no rush on it. I'm just working on it gradually. I'm working on a few things right now. I'm working on a script that's just called "I Love Pro Wrestling." You can imagine how fucking wide spanning that is. So I'm all over the place. I will eventually do the Manhattan one. I will never go back to the original TNA one. It just wasn't any good. Can't put any more blunt than that.
Shout out. $4.99. In our storytelling world, you can't control box office results. Continue with deep gratitude, respect, and radical empathy.
Can you
Dwayne Johnson.
Imagine? Hey DJ, can you imagine having a conversation with someone and they just say this? In our storytelling world, did you go? Can you imagine? Like you're just talking to someone about like they make they're an actor. And you go to the bar and there's an actor there and you're talking to him and he goes, well, in our storytelling world, you'd go, interesting. Now you say that and then you go one step further and you use radical empathy, and then you close it out. You go icing, lowercase DJ. There will never be enough. Imagine disliking Dwayne Johnson, dude. Imagine. This guy, a marvel.
I don't understand it, mate. I don't understand it, my guy.
Imagine Monty texts me and goes, "What time can you do WrestlePurists live tonight?" And I just go, "In our storytelling world, there's you can't control these things in our storytelling world."
It's in the chat saying he's winning the Rumble. Listen, man.
Oh my god.
I ain't seen. Have you seen Smashing Machine yet, Joe?
No, I was supposed to see it yesterday, but I was too sick. I'm gonna go Thursday. I'm excited, dude.
I think I'm gonna. So on Tuesday till tomorrow, supposed to be going to the cinema with my girlfriend, and I'm not sure if we're gonna go see One Battle After Another or Smash the Machine.
So,
we're going to see
One Battle
both.
After Another.
I just don't know
You
which
should
one
see-
we're going to watch first.
I mean, if you're gonna go
One
both,
battle
it's
after
not a big deal.
another.
Like from the reviews of Smashing Machine are very much in line with what I expected, which is I think a lot of people are finding it to be pretty lacking in drama and excitement, and don't seem to like it very much. It seems to be faithful to the documentary to a fault, but you're like a mark for the. Like I am, you're the mark for like the Pride FC. The Pride FC stuff's on TV. Like,
and not Baz rooting in it and shit, bro.
Yeah, like that's why. Even when friends of mine are like, it's not that good. I'm like, look, man, you can tell me, I'm gonna go see it. It's a fucking film about Mark Kerr featuring Pride, Like, I watched that documentary when I was like 11, 12 years old. Dude. Like, I'm absolutely gonna go see that film. So we'll see. We'll let it play out.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if he's gonna because I know this character is different from the usual The Rock characters that he always plays. So I'm very, very curious to see how his acting is, because I think he's definitely that man. He is online, I bet he saw all the tweets of The Rock is the worst wrestler turn actor. Like John Cena and Batista, they watch the Rock, and he's just I have to
Oscar
do
campaign,
about
man.
this.
He wants to solidify. Is he still the most followed person on Instagram? Like, is that still a thing? Someone in the chat.
Wasn't Cristiano Ronaldo or something?
He's the most followed actor. I think Ronaldo's got him beat overall.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Remember Ronaldo joined YouTube and got 50 million subscribers in 2 days? Yeah, he's something else. Speaking, I guess, of actors, Cena.
Next week he's gonna be in Self-Made or something.
Peacemaker season 2. Is that? Do either of you watch Peacemaker?
No.
See, I hear such good things. I'm going to start watching it. Well, I was going to ask you what you thought about season 2 so far, but yeah, man, it's James Gunn, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm locked in, Joe. I can fuck with it.
I respect it.
So, but yeah, man, I've never watched Peacemaker, so I'm going to watch season 1 sometime soon. But yeah, after tomorrow, I will have watched. I don't know. I still don't know which one to watch first, but fuck it. Let's keep going with the super chats. It's enough, Dwayne. Shout out Spurs $5. Appreciate you as always. Nothing to do with wrestling. Have any of you seen One Battle After Another?
Yes.
One Battle After Another. I have it as my best picture, and I don't think anything will come close. I assume that's best picture of the year.
Yes, I've seen it. I have seen it. It is very good. I mean, it's very wacky. It was like at no moment I knew where it was going, uh, but it's generally like such a good movie. The acting is amazing. Like DiCaprio is generally so funny, but the movie is just like so like anxiety inducing, but amazing. It's just generally a very good movie, and it has like a very strong message, which is insane that Paul Thomas Anderson has been writing that for 20 years, and it feels like he wrote it yesterday, you know. So I really do recommend. It's good, but it's long. Like I think I went to watch it at 8, and it was done close to 11, you know. So, but I don't have. I mean, it's always something happening, so it never feels like it's boring, it's too long, it's this and that. Yeah, it's very well paced. Yeah, but it's great. And Chase Infinity, that girl is a star. Like her first role ever, and she goes toe to toe with DiCaprio and Sean Penn and all of those actors, and she's just incredible.
Didn't even know Sean Penn was in it. You know, I just know.
His character.
Like, and I've seen like clips of him like pushing the fuck out of this film. Like he thinks it's his like masterpiece and that, you know.
But generally, I wouldn't be surprised if he gives him like another Oscar. His character is generally really really good, but it's just wacky. The thing is, just like so wacky. Some stuff just happens, and you're just like, sure, you know, like sure, that's happening now. Like, no, like this is not a spoiler. Okay, I hope it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. They just have like Nazis out of nowhere, and you're just kind of like, sure, you know, we're doing that. So it was like, yeah. It's a very good movie. I do recommend. I do think it was one of my favorites from the year that I saw in the cinema. The best one by far. Yeah. Not by far. Sinners was also pretty good, but
it was another victim of me being sick. I was supposed to see it last Thursday. Had to cancel. It's been brutal, guys. Real rough blow at my cinema week. I will see it. I'm very excited to see it.
Last Thursday, wasn't that the day where you was like, for next Thursday I'm doing nothing?
Yeah. And
you ended up living true to that.
When I did the Good Brothers, when I did the Good Brothers interview, I was sick, and I got done at like 6 a.m. and I was just, it took me out, dude. Like it was because I wanted to just have a nice stroll to the cinema and see the film, you know. Like, but whatever. I mean, I'll see it. Sinners was amazing. So if this beats Sinners, then I'll be very impressed because I thought Sinners was extraordinary. Yeah. It's been a good year for film. I saw The Long Walk. I like The Long Walk. You see that, Anna?
Oh, I want to see that one. That's on my list.
It's good. It's good film.
I'm really excited to see The Secret Agent. It's the Brazilian movie that's, you know, going very well in all the festivals, and people are saying that Wagner Moura, which is like the main actor, he can also be nominated. It's the most awarded films from the Cannes Festival. So I'm curious to see. It would be very nice to see a Brazilian film 2 years in a row getting all that attention. So
definitely.
Yeah. I'm also, there's a lot of movies still like coming out that I'm very looking forward to, you know. Marty Supreme, I'm very excited to see that one in a couple months. So it is a good year, yeah.
I feel like this year by the end of this year I would have gone to the cinema more than I have in years. So you know, I'm not exactly like, you know, I don't have a letterbox account, like I don't review films or anything. I'm not really a big film buff. I'm not really a big film buff, honestly, but I guess that's got to speak to something, you know. There's more films there's more films coming out that can drag the casual like myself.
I say this every time. Is so good for your mental, dude. I'm telling you, like, it's being able to just switch off and watch a film in the cinema is so good when if you're stressed out, you know, like. It's honestly been a game changer for me. Like, I started going regularly 3 or 4 years ago. It's game changer. Like, just you can just forget the world for 2 or 3 hours. It's beautiful.
I think like the period this year that my mental health was at its best was when I was going to the cinema like 3 times a month or like 1 time a week, because I used to live literally 1 minute walk from the indie cinema in my town. And now I moved like far away, so I can't go anymore. And I'm also too busy. But I do miss that a lot because, you know, like I feel like yesterday was the first time in almost a month that I actually sat down and watched a movie because I just didn't have time for a month. And it's just, I love it, you know. I watched Naked Gun. Have you ever seen Naked Gun?
Yes, it was fun.
Very good. That's the kind of humor.
Watch the original, though.
The original one, the original. Leslie Nielsen.
Yes. Hilarious.
Priscilla Presley. Sure. OJ Simpson. Oh my god, when he showed up, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, that is watching it now. That is you know, like, even when I first watched it, because obviously it's not like I was fucking following the OJ case live in the time, but yeah, man, a lot of shout out cinema. The other Mikey V, $2. Joe, how did you like Kevin versus Dax? It was fire live.
I was really excited for that match because I heard sentiments like this from Mikey. That it was awesome live, and it delivered, man. It was really good. Dax is such a good opponent for the archetype of a Kevin Knight, because we all know what someone like Kevin Knight can do, right? Like, he's so explosive. He jumps off the page. He just feels like a surefire star, to be honest. But I don't know if I've seen him have a match like that. I don't mean a match as good as that, because he's had some great matches. I mean that specific thing where he's just in the role of a conventional babyface. He's selling, he's fighting from underneath. And the more that Dax works with, like, because now that, you know, Dax is at a point where I'm pretty sure Dax has crossed 40. If I aged him, I apologize. But I think he's crossed 40. And he's working with younger guys. He can play the role of, like, bully in there, right? And kind of really lead a match. I thought it was really fun to watch it in that regard. Again, not a classic, not for your year-end list. But watching Dax just slot Kevin Knight in as an old-school traditional babyface, watching Kevin Knight grow into the role and sell his face and get the people on his side, still do the big athletics, like the drop kick is like, whoa, and they made a big thing of the drop kick in this, which is great. Should always do that with his matches. It was really cool, and Dax, I mean, he put him over big. I mean, they did some shenanigans, and Kevin Knight just beat him, so it was awesome. Dax and Cash have had a great year. Really, really good year. I think, as has generally been the case with them in AEW, the pay-per-views have not probably done justice how good they've been, which has been a trend, unfortunately. It's just kind of the way it works out, right? But anyone who watches Collision knows they have been great this year. So, very good match.
Collision.
Shout out Collision. Shout out the Colliders. Shout out the Colliders on the LNG, the LNG member tier. The Colliders.
Yes,
Shout out Colliders Unite. That's the one.
There you go.
But yeah,
I'm so sure that Tony Khan books the show exclusively for Joe. Like, there's some matches that they announced, and I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
He knows
the accusations are getting stronger and stronger this year, let me tell you.
I'm working on this Go Shiozaki project. That'll be the test of my powers.
Grant Hudson 999, appreciate you, brother. Yesterday marked the 28th and the first anniversary. Yesterday marked the 28th and 1 year anniversaries of two of the greatest matches in company history. HBK versus Taker and Punk versus Drew and Rock's free finger bit lol. Shame how they didn't capitalise with Drew after. Yeah, Drew's run post Bad Blood has been, you know.
I mean, he has been. He had fun at a birthday party, you know. Just gotta...
Oh, come on, man. Jesus.
He's been having a good time.
It's like, it feels like so much has happened in that year, you know. To me, anyway. It's like so. But I mean, that match is great, and I think that'll be saying. To be honest, that'll probably be the definitive match of Drew's career, right? Unless something drastic happens or changes. I think in 25 years, people will ask Drew about the Cell match. I presume that'll be the match.
Yeah, probably.
HBK and Taker is an interesting one in that I think there's a lot of us that
match, man.
right, and there are a lot of us that are still we are locked in on the stance that's the Taker HBK match. Like, I think that's an increasingly uncommon thing, but we're still here. We continue to fight. And to be clear, I love the Mania matches. I just think the Cell match is like an all-time Shawn performance as well, because he just gets the shit kicked down the entire time.
It's such a good piece of business as well.
Yeah, with the angle, yeah.
I've said this for years, but I've always thought it's one of, if not the match that I think like epitomises WWE in a match, because it's all the drama, then like you have the Kane thing at the end, you know, and it's just like it's so WWE in that sense, you know. Yeah. But yeah, that's phenomenal.
That's actually an interesting thing we could do one day on our little.
What's the most fed match ever?
Well, yeah, because like it doesn't have to be like the one I always go to is Warrior and Savage with the post match with Lear's like
Yeah,
that's
yeah, definitely.
if you believe in that like we make movies shit, that's actually an example of like wrestling in this sort of cinematic, loud, flashy. It's an interesting topic, but yeah, I mean, I agree with it. It's a great piece of business, absolutely.
Jesus. Sure.
Oh come on, that's not even a good bit, man. Come on.
It's just
A $1.99 bit too. Like,
Out of nowhere.
Sean Combs.
when YouTube takes the
$1.99.
cut, I made like 30 cents of a fucking Diddy bit. Like, come on, guys.
But anyway, shout out to my day one Joe Hall, but Bad Boys for Life. Enjoy your 30 cents, Joe. Wheelchairs of $5. EO trying to get women's.
Wrestler?
Damn old weird.
I think that, yeah, he's got a
Damn old
Weedler. EO trying to get women's wrestler of the year this month with the tag match and the Mayu match. Yeah, man. Mayu, the GOAT versus EO. I know you locked in for that one. You've got to be.
That one, I am tapped in. I am locked in. I am there. It's been so many years since they wrestled each other, and they're so different now from the last time that they wrestled each other. They shared a ring. So that I think that's the part that I'm the most interested in seeing. I'm just curious to see like how that's going to work now. And I'm just happy to see them in the same ring again, because there was a point in time they were like, yeah, this is never happening. Like, this is over. This is just like, this is not even a possibility anymore. We were glad they had their time together, but that's not happening again. So it's very nice to see that we're getting that in 2025. Who would have thought? That one I'm locked in. And I think it's just like, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And I'm just excited for the people, because I think it's going to be for a lot of people their first Mayo match. So I'm also excited for those people. They're about to have a treat.
Yeah, EO's going to get treated like an absolute rock star as well, because she was last time. And
as she should.
She's elevated within WWE pretty significantly since then. Like she's genuinely like one of their absolute top female stars now, whereas when she went there last time she was like on the cusp of getting to where she's at now. So, and they treated, like I said, they treated her like an absolute rock star last time. So this time around, like I think it's gonna be like crazy, like the way that they receive her, because they love that over in Japan, don't they? Like in the sense of like when one of their guys or girls comes over here and genuinely like does really, really well, whether that's even like Shinsuke, like the way he was received when he went back to go face Muta, and it's like Shinsuke, a lot of us will class him as like a nearly or whatever with WWE, what could have been, or whatever, but it's like, I guess if you look at the cold hard facts of it, he's a Royal Rumble winner, he's competed for the world title multiple times, he's main evented pay-per-views, blah, 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 and I think in those situations when people like that go back to Japan, it makes you realise like, yo, this guy's, he's done his thing, man. Like he might have not been perfect the whole time, Whereas I guess with EO, he pretty much has been, EO's had such a great run, man. So it's
and also because Roshi Ogawa, he loves EO,
Yes, he does.
That just has never been like he loves
never been
her.
a secret.
So exactly. So she'll get like the biggest superstar treatment ever, which she always should get, because she is, and I'm very excited, very, very excited.
Beautiful stuff. Brandon Ellis, $10. Appreciate you as always. I've been pleasantly surprised how well AEW has gotten behind Statlander. I guess I shouldn't be, but it's one of those things that AEW can struggle with. Do we think Thekla is next after the Tony match? It seems to be leaning that way, but obviously they're doing Blood and Guts as well, so they may just be setting all that stuff up, What are we thinking, people?
I like the take, and I agree with it, that it is one that's a little surprising. Obviously, early days, AEW has many strengths creatively. I would argue maybe their biggest weakness that's been discussed the most on this platform, the follow-up to major moments, has been a real struggle for AEW. Yeah. And, I thought the usage of Chris as the main event of the anniversary show was a really smart way to, like, reiterate Chris's status as a main event star without, like, putting her in a match that had no oomph as an attraction, right? You had Darby in there, too. So, yeah, I think it's been good so far. I'm intrigued what it looks like when it's not against Tony, because Tony, obviously, that promo segment on Saturday has become a kind of Tony Storm staple, the big in-ring promo. So we'll see what that looks like. But I'm very optimistic. I mean, as a talent, we all think the world of Chris Statlander. So it's nice to see the creative with her, and hopefully our big things ahead here for her as champion in the coming months.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Like, I love Chris, and it felt like for years now, I think we've been saying, like, she's definitely a future world champion. She's a future world champion. And the way that it happened, that it came kind of out of nowhere, but at the same time, we've been building towards that for so many years with her, that there was the fear of, like, okay, what are they going to do with her now, And so far, it's been great. I think Tony really, really likes her. And I think they realize she's just really good, like she's been proving herself over and over and over again. She had the Mercedes match, the Willow match. Like, she just keeps stepping up. Every time they give her an opportunity, she always shows out. She got a good match out of someone I will not name, but she's just been that person for a while, so I'm glad to see that she's being treated like that as well, because she is a huge star and she has the potential of that as well, of being even bigger than what she already is. So, and I do think that this will eventually lead to, like, Willow winning the title as well, which will be another huge moment, and just this whole possibility around it. But I do think she should keep the title for a while. Like, she deserves it a lot, and I hope that after, like you said, Joe, after Tony Storm, that they keep giving her this space and the time that she's getting on TV, and the, like, good build-ups for her stories, for her rivalries. So yeah, she is definitely someone they can trust. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I just wanted to say, to your point, it gives a little bit the vibe of, as you said earlier, just a moment ago, we kept saying soon to be world champion, right? Eventually, it does get that, you get the sense a little bit, and this is optimistic on our part because things could go different direction at any moment. It feels right now like creatively they've kind of gone, we need to just actually do this now. It feels like, because it did feel abrupt, to your point, but they've committed to it, which makes me, it does give me some optimism. We'll see. I mean, there's been a lot of positives in that division, and it's always, there's obviously elements to it you wish were better. It's always going to be that way. Doesn't mean you should go, job done, and put your feet up. But, like, I do think there's positives, and the real test will be, if Decla's the next feud, what does that look like? Does that get over as a big deal? We'll see.
Yeah. Interesting times.
Yeah.
Interesting times in the immediate future, the next few weeks, But,
yes.
Super Chat, we apparently missed, or I'm being conned, But on that tile, for real said, where would Drew be now if he worked Roman at Mania? Obviously, I think it would be fair to go with the assumption that he wouldn't beat Roman at Mania. So,
same place.
It's very similar place, unfortunately. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, if he would have faced Roman at Mania and fucking beat him, and would have dragged it on to, like, Backlash and everything, then that's a completely different thing, But I think if it would have just trended the way that it was kind of hinted at, because they did do kind of like some teasers of them potentially, like, and some of the things Drew would say and blah blah blah, So if it did kind of continue going in that direction, and they had the match and Roman just beat him, obviously it would have been good for Drew to have a Roman match at Mania. Do you know what I mean? He can put that on his resume, I guess, but I don't think it would have changed anything too much that long. Maybe it'd be a little bit better than now, but not much better, perception wise, and where he ranks, I guess, in terms of, like, focus and importance right now in WWE.
Just feels...
They'd rather push fuckers like, don't know.
Well, it's just...
Who? Say names, Monta.
He's
Whose chest come up?
We don't need to go in that direction. He's a very... he's a major part of the roster. He's just not in that top tier, and I don't think he's ever going to change their mind about that. I mean, at this point, that feels etched in stone to me, anyway. I don't know if you... I mean, like, if he didn't change it with the Punk feud, I see no reason to think he's going to change it ever. I mean, he's in the second tier. So,
yeah, that's how it is sometimes, But yeah, I still kind of have an itching. I guess Joe more than most will remember this. Like, when Drew was a babyface, and I was like, I want him to turn heel. When he turns heel, people see what he can do when he's heel. Blah 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 blah. And we did get glimpses of that, obviously, and he was great for a while, you know what I mean, until I guess he wasn't. But it's like, I've really, and I know this kind of became like the generic cliche take about Drew now, and it's all over Twitter and stuff. But it's like I've hated it for like a while. Like he's like the Twitter bits and him being kind of like a bit of a troll and him leaning into that stuff. Like I get it, like, do you know what I mean? Like it's the tweets will blow up or whatever, and it'll get great traction and stuff. But it's just my favorite version of Drew is like the heel version of Drew when he first came up to the main roster. You know, when he was like Ziggler's heavy and he was just like no bullshit. Just mean, and obviously he was Drew McIntyre, like he was a fucking phenomenal athlete, XYZ, you know what I mean,
Right.
all these things. But that in terms of like his character, like I preferred when he was just a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Just like
Aggressive.
blunt, aggressive, mean. Like look at him, bro. He's like he's a 6'5" Jack Scottish guy, man. Like I don't need him to be a Twitter troll, bro. Like I don't need that.
It doesn't help either that he's like a big part of his weaponry in ring was his like engine and his effort, and it's so much harder for him now, man. Like, you can just see it, right? Like he's back, and it feel. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he feels great. Watching him wrestle, he looks so much like everything's a struggle physically. It looks to me, which is some guys like Randy Orton's in agony, right? But Randy's like smooth, and he
So
can
much
kinda,
credit in the bank as well.
and he can kind of,
lean on.
he's been in the champ like 80 times. He can just, like, Drew's game was, I'm going to get in there and be physical, and I'm going to push a pace and fucking, bite down and go for it. And, like, either it's a motivation thing or a physical thing, that has not been there for a while. And, like, he's deeper in the game than people realize. I think people think of Drew as, like, this run, and they forget he had the whole other run. Like, he's had a long career, dude. He catches up with him. Yeah.
Definitely does.
That's kind of surprising for me as well, because there was a while there that he was that guy in the first year for them,
100%.
So what happened? What went wrong?
That's
They
what a
just
lot of
got
people are
guys
asking.
that were, they just got guys that they saw were bigger. They thought were bigger. So
Yeah.
I'd rather push people I don't like. Basically.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just looking at this Dynamite double graphic. Because obviously, like I was saying earlier, like Tony's he knows what he's got to do this week. Then once like he knows he has to announce his shit. Total Tuesday tomorrow. Some cool shit on here, man. Like Bro Dido arresting Okada and Takeshita.
that's
heavy.
Ooh.
That's a pay-per-view
Ooh.
match. That is, bro.
That's a pay-per-view match. That's generally insane.
We've got Pac versus Orange Cassidy. That's like an AEW classic TM.
Yeah.
It's that's a classic. We got Kyle versus Kyle 2.
Strong.
Strong, man. Obviously, we've got the Street Fight as well. The Demand versus Hurt Syndicate. Moxley versus Ishii. We're gonna hear from
And-
Jurassic Express.
Keep going. Keep going.
Mercedes
Moss versus
Renee.
Ishii?
Keep going.
Mercedes against who?
Open challenge.
Oh,
Oh, she's doing an open channel. I thought we was hearing from her. And of course,
For-
the big
yeah,
one.
for-
top
I
of the
saw-
graphic.
Top of the
The
graphic.
big one. The big man. Sam Joe and Hangman Page are in the ring, face to face. No
Ooh.
fucking bullshit,
And- If you know how Samoa Joe feels about face-to-face segments, you know it's going to have to be good because he thinks they generally suck. So
They
when he
always
does
are with
them,
Joe, aren't they?
they're always good when he does them. Yeah. So
People still to this day clip up the Brock one, when he goes off on Heyman, and it's like, but yeah, Joe, he hasn't. What you said,
Joe.
Hulbert, he's not done loads throughout his career, has he? Really?
no, he thinks they're kind of phony. He's joked about it before. Whenever Joe does interviews, everything he says, he's just fucking around. But like you can tell, he does think it's kind of silly. But this is going to be interesting because these guys don't hate each other. They got pissed off at each other in the heat of the battle. So how they extend that is interesting to me. That angle we talked about on Friday, but that angle was so good and so refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
I could talk about it all day. It was so awesome, and they pulled it.
Collisions,
It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Collisions, looking
Yeah.
lovely, mate.
It's what we do, bro. It's what we do.
Some WrestlePurists favourites on this show. Kota Ibushi is wrestling Josh Alexander in a singles
Yep.
match. Eddie Kingston, he's wrestling the Beast Mortos whilst he's trying to find his feet, coming back from
yeah.
injury.
Oh yeah.
Warming back up. You know what I mean? We're getting Eddie back into We're getting him back war ready, people. You know, we're just working our way up. You know, and they're doing they're doing the big women's tag match as well, aren't they? With Tony, Harley, Stat versus the Triangle of Madness.
FTR.
And they're doing the mixed trios match with FTR and Meg versus Jet Speed and Will. Bro, AEW are going in this week. Like, I know, obviously, it's a big week for WWE, the NXT Showdown, TNA thing. You've got fucking Crown Jewel and that, but tell you, Tony's not lacking. Tony is not lacking this week, bro.
Megan Bain being harder to FTR, like, that does move me, which is crazy because FTR usually does not move me.
Well,
but
Anna, it takes time for everyone, okay?
The Megan Bain effect. What do you think about this pairing, Joe?
It's cool. It's cool. I was rooting for Mercedes because I know, like, I know how much of a fan they are of Mercedes and how much of a fan she is of them, and I just thought it'd be a cool one-off. Like, them wrestling against Willow and Jet Speed, I was like, fuck, that'd be so cool. But I like this, and Penelope and Stokely are probably going to do some funny bits at ringside, I'm sure. So, it's cool. Megan's been good. She's been good in AEW, so I like it.
Yep. Nice.
Maz fan asking what our favourite Moxley match is, and does he make the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame this year?
This year, I don't know.
I don't think this year because I just
yeah, the recency bias works against people in the newsletter Hall of Fame. I was found so
talking about this just before we went on here. Like, I was reading Trevor Dame's article about the Observer Hall. There's so many people that aren't going to get in that I feel like should be locks, you know? Like, it's tough. Like, the Steiner brothers. I thought the Steiners should be locks. They were like the definitive team of their time, you know? They're not in, and they might not get in. Samoa Joe is not in and might not get in. It's like, it's just hard.
They'll all get in eventually, these people, though, because they get added to the ballot, bro. So did you see, like, the screenshot of Seth? Where it was like, Seth dropped off the ballot in 2021, and then he weren't on it for 2022, but they added him back to 2023, and he fell off again, and he's been added again this year, so it's like he's going to fall off again. Like,
how many people go in?
He'll get in eventually, though.
How many people going in the modern? Because I think Cody feels like a lock, to be honest. And I know Dave feels strongly about
this. What I mean, again, like I think the recency bias and stuff will go against him. Bro.
But Dave's feels so strongly about it. I just think he's going to get
him. Yeah, but but we've seen him recent years, bro. Dave's agendas don't mean shit to the voters in the 2020s anymore. You know, maybe back in the day, but not anymore, bro.
Punk,
like, they don't listen to him.
Punk, it feels like things have settled enough that he might get in.
But for whatever it's worth, Judge, Cody is like an absolute like. You know what I mean? Like, cause he should be in.
Dude, Kurt Angle, right? I was looking at this on the house show. So Benoit went in 03, Kurt Angle went in 04. Kurt Angle went in 04. He turned pro in 99, right? 98.
What a god.
And like, obviously Benoit got in way earlier, but 03 is still, that's before he won the belt or anything. Like, it feels like there's the timelines or
the audience is different, bro.
It's warped a little bit. I don't know.
And there's a lot more people.
Yes, and this is not a criticism of Dave because I know there's a wide variety and I know he does an incredible job detailing each candidate. But I do think the longevity of some like modern candidates is a little bit underappreciated. Like, he was talking about Steen and I remember Owens and Zayn both fell off the thing like easily. Dude, they've been great for 20 years. Like, or at least great for 15, you know? Like, it's a hard thing. Samoa Joe, I'm obviously crazy biased, but like, I feel like Joe should definitely be in there. I don't think he's getting in. Not this year.
All those names that you just said, Hardy's earlier, bro, obviously should be in. The Steiner brothers, they should be in, you know? And Samoa Joe, like, clearly. And we're not even, they should be in it, they just should be like their significance to wrestling, their popularity, whatever it may be. Like, it's not. This isn't even like the WWE thing where it's like, oh, they were a great servant for years. Like, no, bro, these are wrestling legends. Like,
I agree.
They should be in the newsletter Hall of Fame.
One of the things that's interesting about this topic is, as the companies shrink, there's less places to work. The drawing power part is going to get really dissected and does get dissected. So it's like you could easily look at Samoa Joe and say he didn't draw. But Samoa Joe was Ring of Honor's biggest draw. At that level, you can't do much more than at that level, right? You can only sell DVDs so often. In TNA, he was the main event of their 2 biggest buy rates with Kurt. Like, in WWE, the Brock thing memorably did good business, and they was like a hype for the ratings for a little bit. There's only so much you can do when there's fucking 2 places to work nationally your whole career. Sometimes not even 2. Like, I don't know. The Briscoes are a really interesting one because obviously their ability to draw is like, it's hard to judge them in that regard. But their catalogue of matches,
they're the greatest tag team of all time, bro.
And that's
you know them ones.
like,
that's where I just throw my hands up like fucking.
In 2003, and I don't know what the conversation was in 2003, but in 2003, Chris Benoit didn't have a history of drawing money. He was in because he was a great.
Bro, he still doesn't now.
I know, but I'm just saying it was before he was in the main event.
Well,
well, yeah, exactly. But we'll move on. But I'm using Benoit just because 2003. It's like if you can get in just to being a great wrestler. I feel like 20 years of the Briscoes is like, I don't know. But again, it's hard because there's a lot of people there's a lot of candidates. So
that's
interesting topic. I do find this genuinely interesting. Like, and I always like when Dave covers it because he goes deep in, doesn't he?
He did a show this past weekend. You should watch it, Joe. I don't know if you've got a subscription or not, but
someone said
they did a show just
literally
just on this, like look at the candidates. So I think it's with like Garrett and that. So
I think John Muse was on there, right?
Yeah, John Muse is on it.
Yeah,
there's a few people on there.
Yeah, someone told me about it. I'll have to check it out.
On that toll for real again. 14s are resend in the chat. Thank you, Monty. Y2J.
Oh.
Come on, bro.
Y2J Vaughn is coming soon. You guys have no idea.
We didn't actually answer the
favorite box match. What if will I be crucified? Will I be crucified if I say that is the Shield versus Daniel Bryan, Kane, and Ryback?
No, that match is awesome. I will say, like,
the TLC.
That was one of the matches that got. Yeah, that was one of the first. One of the first wrestling matches I've ever seen. Like that stuck with me.
I'm just amazed that Mavs fan sent money with a question about John Moxley, and I just went, let's talk about Samoa Joe's candidacy as a Hall of Famer. What a fucking arsehole. Right, okay. Moxley. I would say my favourite. This is actually so tight. He's had some. Moxley's best work is exceptional, right? I'd
say.
I think his best performance, I think, was All In, but it's not my favourite Moxley match. I'm going to go with the one I was there for: Chicago, Orange Cassidy. Give me that.
Yeah, for me, it comes down to one of the Hangman Texas Death matches, maybe.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy is a big one. I think most AEW fans have like a big affinity for the Wheeler Yuta match as well.
The Tanahashi match is great.
You wanna match? This is probably my actual favorite Mox match, to be honest. Was the his G1 match with Ishii when he first released WWE. I think Dave goes like 5 on it as well. Like it's just great. That match is fucking phenomenal.
That match is great. So is the Chicago Punk match is great too. I mean, no one remembers it because of what happened afterwards, but the match is fucking great. Yeah. So
yeah.
Would you count like Anarchy in the Arena, the ones that he participated? That's not a Mox match, right?
Well,
yeah, I think you said a 6-man tag.
No, I think.
Yeah, but like he's more of a part of it. You know?
Yeah, I think it depends on which. Like in some of those matches, he's the star of the show. Right, so yeah, I think it depends. I think because sometimes, like Joe, if you ask me about Joe's career, and I said Anakin in the ring, you'd be like, Joe, shut the fuck up. He's in it for like 2 minutes. Moxley's all over that match. He's bleeding everywhere. Fucking falling
the first
down.
Anarchy. If you said Eddie Kingston, I'd let you have that.
Yeah, it depends. But I mean, Moxley's he's an interesting candidate historically. I kind of changed my mind on him a lot because I like him. At his best, he is like unbelievably great. He has stretches where I don't like watching him at all. Which is unique because like
some weird thing, isn't it, with him?
Yeah, because like some guys have cold spells where they're not great, but you still like watching them. There's stretches of Moxley's career I've just not enjoyed watching him wrestle, but then when he's on, he's like unmatched, best guy in the game. You know, so he's had a really interesting career. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
have you read his book?
I have. It's brilliant book.
I was surprised that it was actually well written.
It was really good.
Like wrestler, no, because books from wrestlers are usually like, sure, you know,
The
that's something
chapter
I'm reading.
about
Like,
the chapter about the match with Triple H, the roadblock match, is one of the best chapters of wrestling writing ever, dude. It's so he sets the scene of a house show. It's so my shit. And at the end, he has that line about Triple H's skinny calves. And then the last line of the chapter is like, I guess he's not too bad after. I guess he can work a little bit, the kid. Or something like that. He has something like that about the point. It's fucking awesome. And then there's a chapter later on where he talks about Triple H and he's like, he hasn't got the goods. He says something like, he doesn't really know how the magic's made. It's an awesome book. It's the book of a man who is completely secure in their place in the industry and does not give a fuck.
no.
I
But I
haven't,
really
I haven't
like
actually
the-
read the book or listened, but this was all when I'd see clips. This was always a part of it that would
Yeah.
pop me, like the audio book narrated by him, and like, obviously his cadence and the way he says things. It's just like,
Yeah.
you can't.
Because I wanted to hear, cause the parts like in the book that he's telling about, you know, like his teenagers, how he started getting into wrestling when he first started training and stuff. That part for me was so interesting because like he lived a life. We're talking about he had an interesting career. The life that man has led, like it's generally crazy, you know. Like I feel like I'm just glad to see him up in wrestling and still delivering matches to the quality and like wrestling and just entertainment to the quality he's been giving this year, you know. I mean, for the second half, but let's not talk about the beginning of the year. But he's when all is said and done, I think he'll be one of the most interesting wrestlers that we've seen.
Definitely, at least of his generation, at least. But
Yeah,
for
Richard
sure.
asked in the chat, when did it come out? It came out in 21, I want to say.
Late 21.
Yeah, it's a few years ago already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine it came out not too long after you left. That's what it feels like, but it actually was like a couple years. But
Well, it was the
But
pandemic.
He describes
Yeah.
he describes the match, the barbed wire thing with Kenny. Like he
Yeah.
describes that whole thing,
Yeah.
and he describes it so well as well. Like I think the way that he describes the matches is really good because even if you have not watched before, you feel like you're watching it. Like
Have
you
you?
get it.
I
you know?
know you're not a big fan, but have you read Brett's book?
Who? Brit?
Bret Hart.
Bret
Not Bret
Hart.
Ah. No, I am not.
He does it. I love his book. It's a brilliant book. But he does this thing where like he starts talking about the matches and he goes, and then he hit me with a suplex. 1, 2, kick out. And I used to. It popped me so much. Like the idea of Bret, like I'm gonna get him back into this match 25 years later. You know, and he's like 1, 2, 3. He got him. And it's a great book. The first part of it is really sad. It's an amazing book, but yeah, there's some good wrestling. But the Mick Foley ones are good. Those books are good too. There's some good ones.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
for me, it
makes
just
sense,
doesn't make sense when wrestlers write books when they're like halfway through their careers, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
no, that's
Yeah,
what
for
Foley
months
did,
it's
though,
okay
isn't it?
because-
Foley kind of set a tone with that, though, as well,
Well, he
didn't he?
let
Like, he did it
Chronicles-
he did it
yeah.
mid-career, then he was like New York Times bestseller, then he was like, I'll do it again. And just did it. He did it like 2 more times in like a
I would
5-year
love-
period.
Jen, I would love to see Mox doing another book. Like, I would genuinely love it
Yeah.
because, like, it's been 4 years now since he wrote the book, and so many more things happened during this period. You know, I would love to read his experience with Anarchy in the Arena, with, like, Blackpool Combat Club. I'm never saying how to say, just the letters again, because I always get it wrong. I'd say full government name. But I would love to see those experiences also chronicled, so I hope that in the future he writes another one.
Me too.
Yeah.
Who else would you like to see write a book? That's what we'll finish on. You could pick one wrestler that has never wrote a book to write a book, and they approach it the way that you'd like them to approach it, like the way Max approached his, like open, honest, bury people when it's called for, put people over when it's called. Do you know what I mean? Like, because obviously sometimes you can imagine imagine if like Cody Rhodes wrote a book, bro.
Yeah.
Like wrote a book now. It would just be a bunch of like eggshell treading and shit. Do you know what I mean? Like he wouldn't
Dick
just
sucking.
come out. Yeah, he wouldn't just come out and be like, "Listen, Tony Khan don't know what the fuck he's talking about." Like he wouldn't be writing that shit in there, you know. But obviously, if we could get Cody injected with truth serum, he would obviously
I
write
think-
an amazing book. But
Okay,
Yeah.
here's where I'm at. I think with where he's at right now and all he's done, and his willingness to just say what he's thinking, I think Kevin Owens would write an incredible book because he's an amazing story. He's had his career in the sense that hopefully he wrestles again, but like he's had a Hall of Fame career, right? By my definition anyway. And we know he's had issues with certain people. He's shown a willingness to express those issues. I think Kevin would write an incredible, because some of the guys I like, I just don't know if they would be as an open book, you know, pun intended, as Kevin. See, here's the thing. You said truth serum. I think some of the parts of Alexa's career are fascinating. Like, some of it's really interesting.
Inject her with truth serum and write a chapter about Sasha.
The stuff that I would find interesting, I don't think she would commit to Paige or think it was interesting.
Yeah.
Like, that's the story about when it was in the road to that Mania and she was like not on TV and she just was like, am I on Mania? And there's no. And she's like, I'm just going to go home. That's fucking awesome, bro. I don't know if it's true, but it's an awesome story. I don't know if that would make the cut. So, yeah, I'll take KO.
I have two. Like, if we're saying like truth serum, they cannot lie, they have to say everything. I would be interested in a Charlotte book. You know,
yeah, good.
I feel like she would have some stuff to say. You know,
yes.
A player's tribune, if that's anything to go off as well.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. If she would write it in that way, I would generally be very interested in reading a whole book of that. But just out of my personal interest in the stories that I want to hear about, and just, you know, I would say Kenny. I would love to read a Kenny Omega book, because he also just had like not just a fascinating career, but just the life that he led. You know, just like going to Japan, the whole thing in DDT, and I would just really, the part that I would be the most interested in is see like his journey in New Japan and just adapting, you know, to like all of that, and just like getting the matches that exploded, that were like 6-7 stars, and like the pressure from that, and everything that he's been through, like with his health and forming AEW and still dealing with all that. Like, I think would be also a very interesting story.
I genuinely never knew. I'm sure like Omega fans know, but the story that Gallows told on the Late Night Grim was insane about Kenny. Monty, did you see that bit where he said that at Deep South he did the cleaner shtick? I didn't know that. I never knew that. They were in like promo class and he got the broom out and was saying, I'm the cleaner. And Gallows was like, everyone thought he was fucking insane, and then he was doing it at the Tokyo Dome. Like, it was. I never ever knew that story. I'm with Anna, and I also think Kenny has a crazy, interesting take on the psychology of wrestling, and that would be really interesting. Yeah.
The way his brain works is like, it's what makes him special, isn't it? You know, like, he's a great dynamic athlete, especially like in his earlier years, you know, and when he was at his peak. But it's his approach and the way he thinks out his matches and stuff it just makes him special. You know, there's no one like it in that sense, you know. Yeah. But it's also not too like it's not like jarringly innovative, anything he's done, you know. Like, there has definitely been innovation, and there definitely has been his detractors who turn their nose up at him and stuff, even still to this day. But for me, at least, I don't think he's done anything that's like he does things outside of the box, but in a way that like just works for him, you know.
But also truth serum on Kenny Omega. I want to know every single detail of his relationship with Ishii. What the fuck is going on there?
Well,
you know?
The honest answer, like, the more we talk about this, the more apparent it becomes. Any wrestler I'm a fan of, I would love if they wrote a book. Because it's just an interesting look into a wrestler's psyche. It's just interesting, right? Like, even if it isn't the truth serum that we're talking about, like, because some of the guys I like would just write very political books, and it would be very, you know, like, everyone was good, and that's fine. But, like, it's still interesting to read, right? It's still a fun thing to see. So hopefully wrestling books, now that there's been a new boom, hopefully we get new wrestling books from the boys.
Did anyone hear anything about Becky's book? I feel like it was the first wrestling book that I did not even see like a single story or screenshot.
I heard it was very good. I heard it was very, very good. I did not read it because my time, if it was 5 years ago, I would have read it, but I didn't have the time.
Yeah.
But I want to read it one day. Yeah. I read, because Charlotte had a book like, really early in her run. It was like her and Rick, like, it was a weird thing. I remember reading that and going, well, I don't know if I didn't read any more of this, but I finished it. The Bucks book was pretty good, I thought. That was good.
Yeah, I heard loads of people like that one.
Yeah,
still to this day, people quote that and shit.
Yeah.
I think I would just like books that I feel like I can actually learn something with, or like just a period in wrestling or like a phase that I'm interested in, and just like reading from the perspective of the people who are there. So like that's the part that interests me the most. And the whole like the phase that New Japan was exploding in like 2018 and stuff, and the whole formation of AEW, like that part really interests me to like what was going on there, what was the feeling like backstage and stuff. So I would like to hear from the people who are doing that. And also like if any of the Stardom girls would write something, like Mayo writing a book would be really interesting to me. She had the movie, but I don't think I'm watching that. But I think a Maya book would be interesting as well.
Jacob Fatu. imagine a book he'd write.
The series run goes first. It could change the book a lot, I think.
No,
is Tanahashi's book translated? I don't know, but I'm sure there's in 2025 there's ways.
Online, back in the day, it was all online. There's some really interesting. There's one part where he talks about why the high fly flows he's finished, and it's like fucking amazing. Just his wrestling brain it's magic, dude. He's just magical guy, isn't he? Magical guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder who's
an Okada book.
Yeah. His last match.
Tokyo Dome, no?
Yeah, but who with? Who do you think?
Who with? Okay.
A lot of people think Shinsuke. I just can't see it.
No.
I think there's more chance of Okada than Shinsuke.
Yeah. Who would you say is like his is still active like biggest opponent?
That would be Okada, right?
Yeah, Okada.
Then it would have to be, because also that would be like the one thing Okada would go back, for
the Shinsuke thing would be really cool, really cool. And obviously Shinsuke is what he is at this point, but so's Tanner. I mean, but just as a moment, it would be fucking cool.
Yeah, bro, I thought Shinsuke, like, even though he probably didn't, he wasn't exactly moving like peak fucking Omega out there, but Shinsuke definitely, he approached that Muta match very motivated, and you could tell there was a real drive to him. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that version of Shinsuke in Dome for Tanahashi's retirement. He would turn it on, bro.
It's going to be a big house too, dude. They've already moved. They've already moved like as many tickets as they sold the last couple of years. So
yeah, man. Tanner's he's an icon over there, isn't he? So it's like
icon in general, dude. That guy's if you don't like
I think it can definitely go both ways. It's definitely going to be like a, iconic opponent like an Okada, or he's going to try to pull like someone young over.
Yeah.
People saying Yoya. Oh, you can't do
Shut up, Umino.
I like Yoya a lot. Ibu can vouch for this. Me and Ibu been. I haven't been as forthcoming with it as Ibu, because Ibu's took a lot of bullets for his boy Yoya over the past couple of years. You get me? But I remember when he was first coming through, bro. Like, big fan of Yoya. I like him a lot, innit? But I think with where New Japan is at, there isn't really kind of any of the young guys where I'm like, man, that would be like really perfect and poetic. Do you know what I mean? So they've got. Tsuji's not even that young, but he's kind of a relatively new, higher end star in New Japan, I'd say, even though he's not that young. Obviously, what's up?
Well, what will you do when it's Shada Umino?
Oh no. Nah, they can't. Nah, surely not. I'm just gonna pretend. Like, I'm just gonna, even though I know it's a real possibility, I'm just gonna pretend that like they wouldn't do that. Everyone's like, nah, they wouldn't do that.
But whatever the match is, it has to be the main event, right?
He's already said he's not wrestling Aaron Wolf in the singles, hasn't he? So obviously that would be cool, because he's meant to be like the way that man's talk about that Aaron Wolf in Japan. It's like he's Anthony Joshua over here. Do you know what I mean? Like he's the fucking man over there. So I'm really excited to see whatever it is Aaron Wolf does, even if he isn't the big Tanahashi that I know some fans were kind of hoping he might do. Yeah. But yeah, man.
Is it a 2-night or a 1-night?
One?
Two.
Wrestle.
It's one, right?
One?
I don't know. Because I'm the wrong one.
Because that's like no matter what match it is, it has to be the main event. Like it is, it has to be like, because there's no way they have like the Tanahashi retirement match. Exactly.
I think it's one.
Tanahashi retirement match, and then the main event. Shota Umino is like Super Junior again. Right. Like, they can't.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to main event, but I agree with you. I agree with you completely.
Like they have to have a good main event after that one.
Absolutely.
Someone said Night 2's Wrestle Dynasty. No, they haven't announced Wrestle Dynasty as a yearly thing, have they? So
No.
they might do it yearly or whatever, innit? But they haven't announced it as a yearly thing. So, but yeah, man. Shout out Tanahashi. Shout out wrestlers that write books. Shout out Late Night
Shout out
Grin.
books.
Shout out books. Shout out Anna's movie corner. And all these things, bro. Shout out Shout out South Made as well, man. Them men are about to go live in like 10 minutes. They've got a big show coming up. South Made Sessions episode 2. Jordan Grace is meant to be swinging by, and I'm sure they've got a few other things up the sleeve for you guys as well. Ibu, Ao, Chriso, and yeah, man. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. Joe, you got any plugs? What you up to this week, bro?
A million and one things, but the main thing is that on Friday, we're going to be doing the Bound for Glory list show. Myself, Contrarian Alex, and Bob O'Neill. Bob is going to be there as an observer correspondent, lock in or Dave talk. Then I get some 6 hours of sleep. I wake up live and free again for Crown Jewel, because that fucker AJ Styles has got me to watch that live on the air. So I've been watching that live and free on Saturday. So double shot. If you are not a member, if you are a member, there's shows every day. So appreciate you.
Beautiful stuff going on over there at Late Night Grin. Please support them. Anna, you got anything you want to say? Anyone you want to shout out? Anything,
Shout out Kenny Omega,
Yeah, man.
Just feeling like it,
Alright, I've got to get. I should write this shit down before I go live, man. But WrestlePurists this week. So, tomorrow will be, Ibu's normal Tuesday show in the afternoon. We should be recording something as well for members, either after Raw or sometime before he goes live or something. I don't know. But yeah, then Wednesday. The Dynamite review's staying on Thursday, by the way, because I know Dynamite is on Tuesday this week. Tempest and Sat, they want to still do it on Thursday. So Dynamite review will still be on Thursday. Me and Joe this week, to be decided. Haven't even spoken to him about it, as you can tell by his face.
Probably Friday again if we can, probably.
Okay, so yeah, Friday. What else we got, man? Tempest and Sat's first episode of Ruthless Discussion is on the channel as well. People are really enjoying that, and it's been really cool as well to see kind of people, kind of follow them from where they were before and stuff. Who have missing their content and stuff, and it's been cool to see kind of our audience fucking with it as well. But yeah, man, we had some great additions to the channel. We'll keep adding shows. We've got some more to add as well over the next couple of weeks. So keep tapping people. Appreciate all your support. We've got a few hundred members on the YouTube channel now. So you guys have been really reacting great to that. Massively appreciate your support, and we're going to keep trying to deliver content for you guys. And yeah, I'm going to keep it moving. Of course, like I said, I appreciate all your feedback whenever you give it me, whether you want to give it me in private on DM, whether you want to leave a comment on something. Just let me know what you want to see and we'll try our best, But again, appreciate you guys for tuning in with us this evening. Don't forget to support the guys in just under 10 minutes on the South Made channel. Support Late Night Grin. Support Anna DeMarco. Support WrestlePurists. Appreciate you guys. Peace.